I need a confident gentleman. Could you be him? Who in time spent compliments all that I am? Ain't talking lifetime. Start with one night. I need a confident gentleman. Could you be him before the party is over? I was hoping that you would come and talk to me. Cause yes, I'm flying. You're just my type. I wanna be swept off my feet. So can you do that, baby? Can you do it for me? Can you do it, baby? Can you do it for me?
Hey, how y'all doing? Welcome to The Vibe. We are inside The Vibe. I am Mike D, and I'm sitting here with the beautiful and lovely Gwen Maul.
Thank you, Mike. What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? We in the
We are in the world famous B-side lounge.
B-side lounge.
Chilling on the patio.
Man,
Beautiful day.
it's like a lot of memories in this place.
A lot. Man, we the road to the 20-year celebration is kicked off.
Yeah.
So it has not been a dull moment yet. So.
Hey, here's life. Welcome to life. I say that on a regular basis. Expect the unexpected. Life is full of constant change.
Yeah. Oh, change is change is one of the guaranteed things you're gonna get in life. I've realized that about every 5 years, you change presidents every 4 years, so you got about an extra year for people to get a little crazy. It's but I just noticed people definitely change. Like if you're looking to improve yourself, if you have a bad day, whatever, I mean, you changing in some way, like no matter what you choose.
I heard somebody say they was asking some throwing those speedball questions out. Sorry, cards. I can pick y'all up in a minute. And one of the questions was, he said, what was the worst advice somebody ever gave? And he said, I think it was Cat Williams, matter of fact. He said, not to change. That was the worst advice he had ever gotten from somebody, telling him not to change. And so, and some people, it goes over your head a little bit and you don't get it, but I felt that 110,000%. If you're not changing, you're not growing. If you're not growing, you're not experiencing anything that's causing you to make a decision. And so,
I'm listening.
no problem. So yeah, I mean, change is the part, you got to do that. You got to evolve. You can still be who you are to your core, but I mean, come on. We got to change. And that's why I think it's so beautiful that I don't subscribe to just one thing. And people want me to be like, oh, what do you do?
You're a Virgo, you can't do that.
I'm a Virgo. Please let the people know. September 2nd. Okay? And I'm a second. So, that is important to me. Number 2 is important to me, as is 7 and some other numbers too. But I don't have just one thing that I do. I do a lot of things because I'm multifaceted.
True.
You know what I mean? So sometimes I feel like cooking all day. You with it? You with it? Sometimes I feel like I don't want to look at the kitchen. I'm not going in there. Why should I?
The no mas days, like I'm good. I'm all cooked out today.
I'm cooked out today. But that helps me love it that much more when I get back into it though. You know what I mean? Cuz like
that time away.
Right. It's almost like the absence makes the heart, honey. Listen. That's why I don't have to be up under nothing.
You indulge, you move on, and you revisit.
And when you revisit it, man, you miss it. Right? So you like, oh man, this
like
feels better plus.
That's like graduating to the next grade. You don't miss it until you don't realize you're missing it until it's gone. Then
Child.
you come back that first day of school. That's gonna be that day.
That's that day.
First day and last day, nothing compared.
What my guy Mike MC say? I'm kill him in the morning.
You got your whole fit laid out to the side.
You got everything.
You laid on the side.
Man, that was the best.
Man, you up at 4 a.m. like this, like, man, the bus ain't
Nervous,
here.
can't even sleep.
I'm waiting for the bus. I've been waiting to wear these shoes.
Ah,
My mama said I can't wear these shoes outside until the first
man,
day.
did you have your tennis shoes lined up? All of the
No,
ones that you
she
got, they was
said
lined up.
she said the first day of school I could wear them.
Uh-huh.
So at midnight on the day of, like the day prior to, I was sleeping in them joints. Like
Oh, that is
the
hilarious.
summer suffering to make me work for. I had to work for it and
Yeah.
pay for it myself.
Oh,
And
so
then
that
she
made
still
it
gonna
sweet.
tell me I could. And I said, what kind of American shit is this? Like,
It's the black mama because I told you so.
it definitely was that. I was like, oh man.
You're
But
so funny.
she said it's tough love. I said, well, love me less. But no,
I want to put my shoes
it
on.
was
I
cool.
earn these. I earn these.
Man, yeah, I was sleeping in them joints. I
That
didn't
was such a fun, free time. Excuse me, I didn't mean to talk over you. That's such a. Think of that back then in that space. That's where we have to create from. You know what I mean? Like that time is like you can reflect back on that memory and feel that energy and be in that mind frame. You float through life.
you do.
You know what I mean? In a good way, not
You
in a
learn to
bad way,
create.
but it's you appreciating all of those innocent moments like that. There is not this. It's beautiful that there's so many people that's gonna be able to appreciate that moment. Like man, that's universal, right? And so when we think about how we need to get back into that fun-loving, fun-spirited, creative space, that's how you get there. For me, to me, in my opinion, that's how I get there through laughter, through you know what I mean? Like really, truly finding those spaces that make me feel like, it took me right back to this space. It took me right back to this time. Or just super funny. I love, love, love comedy.
Comedy is definitely one of the arts. A lot of times when it when you think of dance and theater, a lot of people don't think of comedy, but it is a level of artistry to connect with people at that level and engage them conversationally and get them through things with humor.
Yeah.
You can't have drama without comedy.
You really
you can't
can't.
have theater. Like none of these things are really, there's a little bit of humor in everything, a little bit of truth in all humor. So you have to be able to look at it so that those bright spots will take you out of those dark times. I guess
For
is what
sure.
I'm saying.
Yes, it will. I say that. I said it on the back of my food and laughter are my
Is that
medicines
what I
of
was
choice.
reading?
That's what you was reading. Food is an interactive love language. Love is the number
Ooh.
one ingredient in everything I prepare.
Yeah.
And that's real for me. Laughter is my medicine. If I'm feeling like, you know, if I'm feeling bad, whatever, I don't feel good, I feel like I'm getting a cold or something, I immediately start putting on something that's going to make me laugh. Immediately. And I love how look at the sun. Come on and confirm it.
It is, because I was thinking we should do a food and laughter and music situation.
With the
You know
sun.
how-
We should.
Just for
You
one
know
time,
what?
for the good time,
Come and prepare some stuff.
yeah,
Have some, let me tell
some
you,
fellowship.
I'm with it. I'm with it.
Ooh.
On that week that I love to cook, though.
So,
So I'll let you know on the week that I'm feeling like
we
I got.
we can hit bro up. We can hit Chuck up like, hey.
But that's how I move into these different spaces in life for me. Like music. Music is constant. I'm always listening, always vibing. I have my favorites that I listen to all the time over and over and over and over again because some of my favorites. I mean, right now I'm on this Alex Isley wave. Alex Isley, her voice is like crazy. I love it. It's like a whisper, but it's like a strong whisper. I don't know. It's just beautiful. I love listening to her. Who else do I love listening to? I love my classics. Mickey Howard. That's my boo, my friend. Hey, girl. Hey, friend.
But you've always had a good vibe musically, and like as you were saying, how you connected.
Yeah.
That's
Thank you. I appreciate that. I just really, I like being in this learning space about myself. And I'm appreciating it so much more now than I ever have. Like, I really like, once I became a mom, something turned on inside of me that was so deep that, like, I never, ever, ever imagined I would be where I am in my mind space now. Like, it's just so, it's beautiful. There was a different kind of communication that I tapped into once she came through. And I can hear, like I got mama ears. You know what I mean?
that
You know?
that maternal instinct just kick in. And you
It
get
kicked,
them superpowers.
that dang on thing kicked, the superpowers kicked in as she came through. She's the light.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? And so, and that's how I appreciate, she has been the biggest, beautiful, most amazing blessing in my life, but also a lot of it challenging. Not in the way of her, but just in the way of moving into that space of motherhood that people
Oh
don't
yeah.
really talk about.
Oh, it forces you to.
Oh yeah, you better
grow
get
up with them.
flexible.
You grow up with them no matter where you are in
You
life,
better get flexible if you're not.
man.
Cause, ooh, wee. Nobody really talks about the shaping of the world of your child. You have the people who say, don't try to shape their world. Let them just be. And yeah, that's real all day long. You got to let them be who they are. But there's also like that, okay, I got to mother you and guide you and steer you. So I'm going to, just like how the little animals, they walk. And so the little one notices that the mama is walking that way. I got to go that way with the mama. So it's a natural thing that didn't require.
I'm going with her.
I'm going there. That's where the food is. That's where the warmth is. I'm going in that direction. But I'm also directing her in a way that says, but now stand in your body and feel how you're feeling. Do your hands feel cold? Does your body feel weak? Do you feel strong right here? Are you hungry? Are you hungry because you want to eat something, or are you hungry because it's 12 o'clock and somebody said it's time to eat?
Ooh.
I want you to be able to decide who and what. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that you can recognize it. Because for her, for me, for us, self-awareness is truly divine. Once you have a true awareness of yourself, then you can tap into some, okay, I need to make this adjustment. I need to make that, you know what I mean? You feel like it's, at least I do. I'm thankful because I asked for it.
Yeah.
Just like I asked for the old homie to stop barking.
See, a lot of people don't know how to set intentions and go for them. Like, just to pursue the like you say, you just stick with it, feel what you need to feel, stand within yourself.
Mm-hmm.
That's not, a lot of people don't get that level of self-awareness.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's where artists come in, like the artistry and the creativity come into place, because people are used to being told what they have to do, when they need to do it, how they have to do it. I remember my daughter was in school, maybe kindergarten, first, somewhere early, and they're in the habit of having them call everybody friend, and it became difficult for her to discern when somebody was trying to get over on her, take advantage of her, like how they were. I'm like, that matters. Like, you can't just call them friend and keep accepting the bad relationship and bad energy from them. You have to, a part of being a friend means I can call you on something. Sometimes respecting somebody means I'm just not going to mess with you. I'm just not going to associate with you. That's not always a bad thing.
Absolutely.
Sometimes oil and water aren't supposed to mix.
That's it. And once you understand that, like, we're in that same space now, where I'm making sure that Jason understands everybody is a friend to somebody. And you can love everybody in the same vein as you're supposed to love each other. We're all supposed to love each other, right? I love you, I don't care what's going on, period.
Love has 30 different definitions.
Right? We get, I mean, it's the highest vibration.
Yes.
Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna love you, but here's the other thing. It's some responsibility here.
Right.
To love me, to be a friend to me, for me to be a friend to you, there's responsibility and accountability there. And I don't mean it in a negative way. I mean it in a way that when you care for somebody and you truly care for that person, you actually have to care for them.
True.
and not just when it's situational.
It's that acceptance, accountability, and atonement part. The
Man.
atonement, especially, is where that really tests what love is.
Indeed.
When
Indeed. Indeed.
You
I
know,
mean, you know, I have some lifelong friends I'm thankful for, and I have some very special people in my life, and you're one of them. I appreciate you. You've
love you
always
too.
been so very kind and so understanding and so on point with trying to make sure that we're growing. And I appreciate that. We're in the I'm talking about like all of us. This is a collective thing in terms of, you know, I've been around here for 20 years over here at this B side.
Man, before
Before the B side,
Bar,
Kamikaze and
Kamikaze,
Spa Bar and all of the places, this is a collective
it is.
situation.
I have to explain that
You
to
know?
people. Like, this didn't just start recently. This goes back, like,
Yeah.
between that, even going back to what, Black Poetic Society. Like,
Yes.
everybody involved has branched out and planted seeds and nurtured those seeds into new things. So to be a part of something that's a part of that, and to realize that the future wants to carry on, you know, creating those avenues and knowing, like, 20 years ago, this was just an idea.
Mm.
Now that it's been existing for 20 years, people maneuver. There's a community. There's a family, you know, a large part also, where people have been actively a part of each other's lives for 20 years. And to your point, the change, those relationships have grown, festered, fractured, mended. They've taken so many turns over the years, and to see those journeys come to where they are now, I believe we're in a Renaissance period, personally. Reformation and Renaissance, where there's an opportunity here to really set intentions and go forward and really design the future that we see. I believe that's all here.
I mean, because listen, you're either going to chart your course or somebody's going to chart it for you. I mean, so like you have to make a decision, and everybody can't be an entrepreneur. Everybody can't be an artist. Everybody has, you know, there's a role. It's going to be
Teamwork.
Teamwork makes the dream work, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we've heard that forever. And so
Sometimes the king's the fall guy.
but it really is just a matter of, I just try to stay open to evolving. I don't ever want to get to a place in my life where I'm like, no, I only want to do this, and I'm only doing, and this is the only way it can be. Even with rearing my daughter, you know, bringing her into this world, I want her to have a real view.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I want her to be able to see, feel, and appreciate the fact that her mom is a human. She's got every emotion plus all of the other ones, right? So I want her to be able to experience that. Not want her, she experiences that, and I choose for her to. And I make it a conscious effort to say, listen, mommy was going through a moment. She was upset. We have these conversations, and I say, I apologize if I raised my voice, if I, you know, made you feel away, whatever it is. I make sure that I try to stay present. I stay present with her in that way.
Yeah.
We have our ups and downs because she's growing. She's evolving. She's developed her way of thinking. She's developing her way of, I want to put the cards and things here because this is my room, this is my space, and this is what I want. And I'm like, you know what? I remember that.
Right.
As a young Virgo kid, like, this is my spot. Don't touch my stuff.
Right.
So, you know.
You have yours over here.
This is yours. This is my room. This is my space. This is where I have to make it feel like what I need.
You put mine in front of it, right?
So I dig it. I dig it. So I'm like, yeah, have your space. But you got to, you know. So people trip out about that.
But I agree with you on that. Like, with my daughters, I give them room to, and it's hard. Like, sometimes you want to jump in, but it's like, you know what? I have to let them get through this moment because they, you know, if they fight to the finish, if they power through it, they finish strong. They learn how to do that going forward.
Yeah.
They're not, as much as I do love when they depend on me, I don't want them to have to depend on me every step of the way, because then they'll become adults and not know how to do that, or need somebody else to do that for them. And like as a parent, I can imagine that'd be, well, for me especially, that'd be way more difficult to deal with than just letting them learn a lesson right here in real time, where I could come and show them how to correct it, and then go. Like, experience is the best teacher sometimes.
Ooh, Mickey Howard, love under due management. Did you say? Listen, experience is a good teacher.
It is. I like that better than the best. It's a good teacher.
It is. It really, truly, when you think about it, when you break all of the layers down, yeah, it is. Because where else are you going to learn, okay, that's not for me? You know what I mean? So, like,
some people call it trauma.
That might be it.
That's
but
a form of experience, yeah.
Everybody is going to have we're trying to almost package people to not have any trauma, and everybody is supposed to be healed, and everybody is supposed to be, no. It's not that.
You gotta love your ugly.
It's you gonna have to love that dark side. You're gonna have to love that ugly part. You're gonna have to get into an alignment in the space of, okay, I'm not feeling my best at this moment, and be able to gauge when I'm not at my best. So I can say, I need to do X, Y, and Z so I can get back to where I need to go, where I'm headed. But if you never, ever, ever experience dark, you won't ever know the light. See, the confirmation, listen, okay? God got my whole entire back, front, and center. I'm divinely protected always. And it shows up. I'm thankful.
And it's been that way for as long as I've known you. You do, it's like your empathy with the environment and the tone of what's going on. You've always had your finger like on the pulse of what's being said, what's being done, and was it like the fates and Greek mythology? You'll give the I want to say the foretelling. You will foretell the things, and people will be like, nah, and then boom, it's a thing. I was like, I don't.
You know what, Mike? First of all, thank you for even recognizing that, because it takes some special people in my world to recognize that, and I don't mean that in no kind of weird way. You know what I mean? Like, you really got to know me to be able to say that. You know what I mean? So I appreciate that. That says a lot to me. I didn't even, sometimes you just be moving in your space, right? And I try not to offend people and say, like, give my opinion all the time. I've learned that sometimes people don't want you to be able to see into them.
Ooh, because that's scary for them.
Man, because if you're not self-aware, come on, son. Come on and keep confirming the situation. I appreciate it. Because if you're not looking into yourself, and you're not really trying to figure out what makes you tick, who you are, and you're not really being real with that, for somebody outside of you to be able to see it and pick up on it is really a scary feeling. And I don't mean it in like, I don't do anything in a malicious way. I might just be able to say, like, whatever it is. Right. And it just touches that person, and they're like, wait a minute, nobody has ever been able to see into me like that. What are you doing? And I think I attribute it to a lot of it, of course, it's a gift. God's special touch on my life. And so, but while I was doing hair, I really got an opportunity to see people from so many different spaces.
Oh, they point their soul out to you.
Man, listen,
you get the fingers right up in there. And
it's
you get
coming
them, like,
out.
right in that spot.
It's
they
coming
tell
out.
You everything.
It's coming out.
See, with these
I know all of the
lose,
things that the
like,
people in the family still don't know. You know what I mean? But and the responsibility in that is a real thing for me. So just because we fall out or we not in the same alignment, and I don't let me think. I don't have fallouts, but when we are no longer in that space of alignment and we're not, our lives are moving and grooving and doing that thing, I don't get in the space of saying, and then I don't do that. I don't do that. And people who like, I'm not ugly in that kind of way. And so there are a lot of people who has been in my chair when I did hair and, really felt comfortable. And outside of my chair, people that are around me feel comfortable talking with me because I'm not that person. I'm not messy. So.
You are definitely a confidant.
Hmm?
You definitely are a confidant.
Yeah.
Like it's
Confident.
nothing gets out. It's all there. It's like that friend therapy that you didn't know you needed, but
Man.
you're glad you got.
Yeah.
It's like and it starts off as simple as like let's go grab a taco.
Man, we went to Chipotle and had a time. What was it? How that meme go? We had a time
Man,
last night. We
man.
had a time over there, sitting right in the window, just people watching.
Right. Cause like sometimes just observing things, like you say, when you can't see yourself third person, and I started thinking about it from this perspective a while back, whereas how do I look outside of myself right now? Like if I was watching me, what would I be saying? Because like there's moments where I've looked at myself and said, yo, that's some stupid shit. You shouldn't. Why you tripping? And then I just, in true Aquarius fashion, just boom, let me step back into myself.
Yeah.
And, because this isn't me, this isn't my energy. I don't understand where it's coming from, where it's resonating. But here's the source. Let me, being that practicing observation. Because, like, then you can have fun with it. It's like, you're not, but you look silly. Like, learning to laugh at yourself is a very important part of growth, gaining confidence, becoming that champion you want to be in your life. You have to learn to laugh at yourself.
You better.
Because if you are a yes man unto yourself, then you're just as bad as the yes man around you.
Somebody passed the plate. Where's the plate? This man in here talking on the heavy side. Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. But that's that self-awareness. And some people, they don't like that space. And what can you do? I bless it and I release it in the words of the great George Fraser, Dr. George Fraser, right? Bless him and release him. That's it. You got to do that. And bless him and release him because I have to be responsible for the energy that I bring. Hey, come on, listen. That sun gonna keep showing up. I can't.
Y'all playing this, then?
Did I have a?
This whole celestial sensation right here.
It's just beautiful. You couldn't ask for any a better day.
I appreciate all these days. This after all the months of snow, I can't say the S word.
Listen, you did say the S word. You said the S word, but here's the thing,
Week from today.
Oh man,
it bet not.
I only want to see it one time. On Christmas morning.
I'm down for a good snowball fight.
Really? I'm tucked. And it's so funny to me that 20 years ago, that did not matter at all. We coming out on a Tuesday.
Man.
And we have on our heels. The girls will
with
be
the
out.
toes out. With the snow.
I didn't go that far.
It'd
Did
be
I?
fresh snow.
Did I? I
With
don't
the
think I
peak
did.
toes or the open toes.
Maybe once or twice.
It's been some nice. Oh, but I do appreciate the the ones who came with the change. It was like, you did not come to play with anybody tonight.
Not on tonight.
You had my on my ways, the while I'm there's, and my on my way home.
That is hilarious.
I just never knew that persons could be that versatile.
Yes.
I was like, where did you put that?
Listen.
I once saw them pull a whole nother person out of a person. I was amazed. It was, man.
I love that. I love that about us. I'm in love with black people. I love us. I think that we're the most amazing. We're some of the most beautiful people. Listen, we got some hearts filled to the brim with gold. Man. And I recognize that because that's what I am. You know what I mean? And so people like, you got such a glow, like an aura about you. And I was like, I do, Sometimes I be really feeling really bad. Like, what a day. I have this human crazy experience today.
I mean, I don't, Because even when you go through things and you share with people what's going on, you approach it in such a gathered way, a sincere way, to where it's like, okay, there's room for understanding, and you communicate effectively. You do your, I would say, you do your internal work, your shadow work and everything.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that's what people see. Like once you learn to embrace those parts, then you can begin to nurture them and then get them back on track. A lot of people think that being bad at something or weakness is that, and I'm like, I don't. It's like I say this a lot. You ever see a whale try to climb a mountain?
Right.
It's like there's certain things where it's okay for it to not be for you.
Listen.
Like it's okay. Like I'm as far as athletic as I can be, I cannot ride a skateboard. I'm perfectly all right with that. I have bust my ass enough on the skateboard to be like, you know what?
That's not my thing.
I'm good. I respect the fact that you can.
Listen,
Kudos.
your self-awareness is on point. That's what that means.
But then I love to watch it. Like I think it's just dope. It's not like I wish I could, but the fact that they can get up there and do these things, and like when I first came down here, that's what I was in that space heavily, accepting things I can and can't do, because it was turning your weaknesses into strengths. That was the coaching we were receiving. Learning to depend on others, learning to defer when necessary, but then still be able to, if you have to, know what to do. The key was to not panic. Once you panic, then you definitely lost. But to be able to be present in the moment, learn to appreciate what a person is saying, what they call actively listening.
Yeah.
It's something that's just more subconscious than intentional. You just kind of be in the moment and allow it to, the spirit to do what it does.
We don't do that enough. We waiting on that microwave. That microwave result.
Man.
We want it to come right now. Forgetting that there's some cultivation that has to happen.
That word. That's a word.
You got to cultivate it.
That is a word.
You got to marinate it. You got to put it in the oven like that. You got to go to, you know what I mean? You got to do that, because at the end of the day, yeah, you can get that microwave meal, but once you had it out the oven and it's been on low and slow, that microwave is going to be like...
And they got all that juiciness again.
It's so...
That's why I can't understand the air fryers yet, but I ain't trying to get crucified.
Now, the air fryer I ain't mad at. I'm going to tell you, I don't own a microwave. I haven't used a microwave in probably 15 years. And the air fryer is an interesting contraption, because I was like, is this microwave-ish?
It's an easy bake oven.
It's like an easy bake oven.
Easy bake oven.
Isn't it? I used to love the easy bake oven.
I mean, you could definitely get off some good snacks, but you know how you had that, like I had a bunch of sisters and girl cousins and all that.
Yeah.
And cooking wasn't a thing until they became adults, and the easy bake oven was the first.
That's your first intro.
Yeah, it's like, why ain't it cooked on the inside? Like, I know you're working with a light bulb, but you could have checked it.
It's still runny on the inside. Oh Lord! And the food was so nasty. Did you ever taste it?
I did. We went hard. We found the refills and all that stuff. We learned how to make our own.
That is hilarious. They really should redo that and come out with it again.
They did.
We just did. I just aired it right now. Coming to you next year. In 2024, we're going to have an easy bake oven, vegan style.
Ooh, that could be fun.
I just did. Right. I released a cookbook.
The vegan bake oven.
The vegan bake. The weekend vegan bake. What you call it?
The vegan bake oven.
Veggie bake.
Vegan bake.
Veggie bake.
Hey, I think
almost like a piggy bank.
I'm with it. Can cookout?
Oh, my phone said, see ya.
I got a phone charger too.
Okay, thank you.
What's over there? A vegan cookout sounds fun.
A vegan cookout?
Yeah.
Or cook off?
Ooh.
What did you say?
Can we do both? Can we have a cook off at the cookout?
I mean, I'm with it. Yeah. Yeah, that sounds like a fun time.
Ooh.
That sounds like a fun time.
We should have categories though. We could do the. So I mean,
Does
you gotta
this take
have
vegan?
the.
Is this? Can you believe this vegan?
I can't believe this is
I
vegan.
can't believe this is vegan.
Vegan. How'd you say how you said it again?
How did I say? I can't believe it's vegan.
Can't believe it's vegan.
I can't believe it's vegan.
What the vegan?
Hey,
Man, that is.
that's a good situation.
I do.
Let's do it, Mike. Let's
Yeah.
do it.
I'm gonna still bring some meat, but you know this way.
You better not. You can't. So I guess you got to. But I can't ever taste
No,
it.
we could do a vegan only, like an all vegan.
I think that would be fun.
That would be.
That
dope.
would be fun. That would be fun because I think, it's grown a lot in the last. I've been vegan 9 years, and the story of me becoming vegan is really funny. Have I ever told you? You got
It's been
time?
a minute. We do.
You got time?
Oh,
It really is a funny situation when I look back on it. I was getting ready to make some turkey spaghetti. Come on in, son. Thank you.
yeah. Right
I
on
was
cue.
getting ready to make some turkey spaghetti. And I said, what is that smell? It just started to smell weird in the kitchen. I'm like, I'm not going to do that. Throw this out.
Ooh.
And I threw it out. I said, let me make something else. Jason was 10 months old. So I go on ahead and make something else. And later on that night, I watched Vegucated on Netflix. I was like, okay, let me check this out.
Changing lives.
Let me check this out. Checked it out, and I got up and threw everything out of the refrigerator in the whole kitchen.
Yeah.
Everything that had anything to do with an animal, and that was it.
That was a spiritual awakening right there.
It was a right now, and I mean right now. Like to this day, I feel badly, and I made peace with myself about it, but I was feeling badly that I got rid of all that food, that it could have went somewhere else. But I had to get rid of it right now. You know what I mean? Like,
But if you were thinking like, okay, this is like poison in a sense. Like it's just
I
not
don't,
right.
Like I
Yeah.
still hadn't reconciled all of it at that point. I just
Right.
knew that this was done.
Yeah.
Like I couldn't do it anymore. And I didn't want to watch any of the other ones because they were so gory, right? They went to the slaughterhouses, they did the whole thing, and I'm like, I don't need to do that. You don't have to.
Right.
I don't watch horror movies either, so I don't need to be tricked into that spot. I get
Yeah.
it. I don't need to see it. And so this movie didn't display that. They did go in there, but it wasn't over excessively done. So it was like, okay. But once I got it and I watched it, I was like, I don't want to do that ever again in my life. If I don't need to create that kind of situation for me and my family, then no, I don't need to do that. And I know how to cook. I love some good food. So, and I know how to cook good food. So I'm like,
Yeah. Man. I'm up here picking my teeth and I ain't even eat nothing. Like, man.
listen, it really, it's just one of those. My mom is a fantastic cook. My brother is a chef. And so and listen, he throws down. And my mama do too. And that's where I feel like, that's where we learn a lot about ourselves in that kitchen. You learn about who you are in that kitchen. Because you get to say, I don't want this seasoning in there anymore. I tried it, I didn't like it, or it feels like this, or I'm paying attention to everything. I have music on when I'm in the kitchen, I'm cooking, I got, my sound bowl in there trying to get that energy right.
Yeah, science is
Okay.
like,
I'm in there like,
it is,
I'm
but-
not measuring. I'm just ding, 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 ding. And if it feel good, it feel good. And then I started to pay attention to what I'm throwing in there.
yeah.
Like, okay, because somebody gonna need to have this in a minute. I'm putting it together because I know I'm gonna get it to people and they gonna want it. And so I need to make sure I can redo this, right? So that's how the book eventually came about. And I have really been working on that for some years because I was like, I'm not a recipe chef in that way. 2/3 of it. So that was a challenge for me. So to be able to work through it, I was like, I'm get your life together, Gwen Maul. Okay, this has to fit so that somebody else can get that experience. So I put my nose to the ground and I did that. So somebody sent me a couple of messages. People are really enjoying the book. I'm thankful for that. Thank you. I appreciate it. And they said like they love the cookies. My mom is fantastic for that recipe. She helped me with that in developing it because she knew that we love, cakes and cookies and pies and all that kind of stuff, and she loves to cook. So making it a vegan thing, she was like, I said, well, go ahead and do it. So she did it, created it, and
created it like
she created it. She has her different recipes that she has worked with and on, but when she gifted that to me, I put my spin into it, and it's a masterpiece.
See, you just got the touch.
It's good. I should have brought samples, but we're gonna on the next one because we're gonna do the cooking show.
Yes, we are.
We're gonna do the cooking event.
Where's my camera? We are going to do. Yes, we gonna spin the block on this one.
Hey.
We gonna pull back around.
That's the only block I'm gonna spin. I ain't gonna even hold you. I ain't spinning the block, and he can't either.
I spin the food block.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, run that plate back.
Only reason why I know I can't spin the block, because I spent it before. And I said, oh, okay. No. That ain't my speed, bleed.
No.
We're going to ghost ride the whip up out of here.
They ain't gonna see.
No, I did that. And I'm, So, no, thank you. You brought it up. You said spin the block. Got to go through it sometime to know what you're not going to do again.
Oh, yeah, when running it back goes wrong.
Huh? When running it back goes wrong? Lord! But you know what? That's the beauty in, hey, look. I had to, you better be able to laugh at yourself.
Yeah.
Right? You better be able to laugh at yourself.
God damn.
Dang it. But you also need to be able to be gentle with yourself, because I've been hard on myself too about, but in order to know that that's not the space to be in, you gotta beat yourself up a little bit, and I have. But thankfully, that ain't where I'm at anymore.
Because I put a lot on being even keeled through life, like, because I know you're gonna have highs and lows, and I just like skip them and be like, I'm gonna just stay right here.
They know you was filming. They knew you was filming today.
If you got a Kia or a Hyundai, just give it back. Like, just give it back.
Right.
We don't want them no more. Take them off the streets. Let's go.
Listen.
But no, learning to feel your shit, because you gotta be able to take your highs and your lows and actually experience it.
Mm-hmm.
That's one thing where you learn not to rob yourself of your growth. That trial and error, like when you mix them different ingredients, that self-improvement, that growth, everything. It's your life is the sum total of all the things you've been through.
Sure, indeed.
So you taking them different ingredients, like, I have this experience here, or I have this accolade there, or I have this loss right here, and you put it together, you make this version that fits your palate going forward, something, a taste that fits the evolution that you experience based off of the intentions that you set.
I agree, 110,000%. It's like once you have established, like, okay, yeah, that feels good. I like that. I'm gonna do that because I like that, whatever that might be. But I know I better not do this again. Right? Or whatever it is. I'm not fooling with this dairy.
Man,
I'm not fooling with this. You know what I mean?
The vocal chops. I remember it started. I don't know if that's where it started, but I remember that's the first time I was. You actually got me hip to that.
Yeah.
With the dairy.
Yeah, like cutting out the dairy because it's not good for you. I mean, I know the macaroni and cheese is good.
It's delicious.
It's so good.
It's
I used to make the bomb macaroni and cheese. But now that I figured out that I don't have to have it in that way, and I'm not the perfect vegan, I'm not a size 0, whatever that means. I'm not super thin.
All size zeros are not created.
I mean, I'm just saying, you know what I mean?
No,
I haven't been a single digit since I was a single digit, and I'm not aspiring to be. I love all of the thick juiciness that I am of who I am.
Amen.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
So,
When the sun come in on cute, y'all.
Hey, listen, at this point, we don't even have to point it out. Y'all got it, you get it, it's all right. Are we thankful? I'm thankful. God is good to me every day of my life.
Yeah, you got God on lights today, you know.
Okay, on every day. Illuminate me, please. Thank you, I appreciate it. It's just confirmation. I love the sun. I love the warmness of the sun. It really helps me in my life. And I had experienced low vitamin D. And y'all don't take that. Okay? Don't. Okay?
They trying to take the
Don't do it. Don't do it. I'm talking about the sun, vitamin D. But anyway, I truly experienced having low vitamin D. And once I did, I had body aches, chronic pain, all of the things that go along with it, and even bouts of depression, which nobody is having a conversation about, which is bananas to me. Perhaps I'm the person that needs to have the conversation, or part of it, or jump in it wherever it is, and I just can't hear it. But before we start giving people all of this medication to take and say that they need to fix their psychosis, are we paying attention to where their vitamin levels are? Are we doing that? Right. It's weird that we're not even having that conversation, but we can automatically subscribe. And if you need a prescription, go ahead and get it. I'm not trying to take it away from nobody who need what they need, but I'm saying we haven't had a collective conversation enough, loud enough, strong enough to say, hey, get your vitamin levels checked first. Because once you find out that you can experience, you say what?
They say it's easier to keep them doped up, though.
Hey, like, and if that's what you want to fall into, then go ahead.
My wife went to vacation in Aspen. Give them the drugs. That's what.
You know,
that's how they do it.
Give them, because it's a big, hey, I'm not gonna. I can get a little into it, as you can tell. I'm gonna pull back, but I just feel like we need to pay more attention to that. We need to focus on that a little more. So in food to me is a medicine, right? So food, you can change did you know that if you have enough blueberries, it will help to combat certain rounds of depression? It'll help you in that space. And so I know you know, because you're into that kind of thing.
Oh yeah.
You really,
I like to pay attention to what goes in and out of my body.
Yeah.
Part of that self-awareness. Like, if it's broke, you gotta know how to fix it.
People who are it's always surprising. I try to not be in a judgment of anybody about what they're doing and how they're on their journey. But it's interesting to me the people who say like they don't drink water. They're like, I don't like it, it's nasty.
Your body is made of 70% water, right?
I just automatically, my brain goes into, listen, I'm telling y'all, my humor can get a little.
They only get water when
I worked in a barbershop, so. And I was the only woman.
You might as well be a sailor.
I might as well be what?
Might as well be a sailor.
Listen, I'm not though. They were the best. This is when I closed my salon, and I was transitioning out, and so I had some people come to my cousin's barbershop on Noble, and I was doing hair there, but I also started cutting hair, because I was like, oh, I know how to do this too, you know. And of course, it was an experience. First of all, being the only woman in a barbershop is like a thing. And man, so
it really is.
It really truly is. And so I got a whole other set of education, life experience in that space. And I learned some amazing things. First of all, y'all know I love black men. Okay, listen. Oh. I love y'all. You know, I think that y'all are the most amazing. And so I got a particular view when I was at the barbershop. And it was like, I'm going to have to reenact this somewhere, somehow. It's going to be in my video somewhere. But when that man walked into the barbershop on a Friday. Okay, you walk into the shop. Y'all speak. Y'all do that head nod thing. What's up? What's up?
What up, dog?
Yo, what's happening? You do your whole little thing. Y'all go down the line, dap everybody up, especially on the line, whatever it is, especially if it's your folks. But they usually come in, man, let me tell you, man, and then they get into their thing. If it's a woman present and they're not familiar with her, they going to elevate it, but it's a beautiful elevation. We love it. We love it because y'all doing that for our benefit. But
I
it's,
got talking colors.
hey, listen, the sun is shining, ain't it? Did the sun come out?
Hey, you getting all these ugly details. Look, bear witness to how treacherous your people are. So this woman over, this heifer, you know.
Man, they cut up, and I love that view. I got a chance to really see you all for who you are as humans, as people, as hearts, as, you know what I mean? The love, the passion, the experience, the camaraderie, the brotherhood, the kingship, you know. And so when all of that is over with and it's time to go, baby, listen, if you have not ever in your life experienced watching a black man on Payday Friday, get up out that chair.
Oh, the freshman.
Love that line so
He got the strut.
crispy, and he love it. And that barber put that thing on him too. Like he got all of the points, and it's good. When he come up out of that cake, it's like it's so beautiful. Every woman has to experience that. It's a thing. It really. I know I sound dramatic. I'm an artist.
I can attest that fresh from the barber shop. Love it. It is a unique experience unto itself.
It's a Love Jones in the back. It's that Love Jones conversation in the taxi.
See, that's why I keep clippers at the house.
When she said, "Ooh," all my Love Jones heads, y'all gonna know what I'm talking about.
Man.
But when it's that, and then he get up, he gone, head up, shoulders back, beautiful walk, not beautiful like that, but you know, I mean, I love it. Black men have an amazing presence, and I love that about y'all. Y'all so multifaceted and beautiful and strong and kind, and that's who I've surrounded myself with in my life. And to be able to appreciate you all from that space and it not always be a sexual energy is important to me. You know what I mean? Like there are attractions you have with people who are around you. They're smart, they're beautiful, they're handsome, they're cute, all of the things. Aesthetics are important, but once you start experiencing people in these creative spaces, you get a chance to see inside of their hearts and their minds. And so I've been able to do that. So yeah, we have natural attractions to people, and it's so funny. I've always been linked to y'all. People be like, yeah, especially when that song came out. Lord have mercy.
People got questions. They
Man,
like,
did y'all do that in the studio? That was for real? Like, listen, honey, you have to be a day one, okay, to know back for the very first time when we put that.
I still got my autographed copy.
Hey, that was a fun time.
It really was.
That really, listen, that time of my life was like a dream. And I didn't realize at the time that I was really manifesting my world. Like I was really putting into place what I wanted to do. And I was making some bold movements to do it.
Because one thing I've always appreciated about you is that you move more with intention and affirmation. Like it was intention and confirmation as opposed to affirmation and weight.
Yeah.
You know, you as they say, the Lord helps those who help themselves.
Yes, come on.
You definitely go ahead and in true Virgo fashion. Cause I said this about Esther too, and I'm seeing the similarities. The more I'm thinking about it, I'm like, oh goodness, it is, man.
Really?
Like having worked with you and
Yeah.
you know being around her for on the Tuesdays when she's hosting, and I DJ for her birthday set that she put together as well.
Yeah.
Especially on her birthday set, I think that's where I'm remembering, and it's just clicking because she was true Virgo mode.
On top of it.
And like
yeah.
How you would have the band, you would have the DJ, you would have the set, you had a vibe going. You
She
had that
dope.
room
She is dope. Thank you. Hey, it's an honor and a pleasure to be put in the same category with her. I think in terms of like just in mindset and in that space, that's a beautiful, beautiful thing because we're all collectively working in this space together, and that energy, we absorb that. Even from 20 years ago, when I come down here, man, that energy takes me straight back to that time.
We love us some Gwen.
It's like a time capsule. I come in here and it feels like another part of home for me. I kind of grew up in this space
You look
as
like
much
you ain't
as.
aged in 20 years.
Well, hey, thank you.
I don't think anybody would believe you was legal if you didn't say 20 years
Cheers.
ago you was legal.
Ow, hold on. But you know what? It's really tripped out. The amount of people who are surprised that I don't mind sharing my age. I'll be 47 in September.
And she still gets carded.
I didn't I? You was
You
with
do,
me. Yeah, that's
yes.
crazy. That
You
was. I
still
think
get
that was.
carded.
That's just because people want to be.
I mean,
They want to do they.
But no, it's some people they gotta do the squint to.
Come on in, son. Come
See?
on in, son.
See, now it's on my on my side. See? I
Hey,
got me
get
one.
to the listen.
Got me one.
Talk a lot that, okay? Y'all find out. Listen, this is I think probably the first time that people really having a conversation with me for real on this on like in this kind of space. So thank you for inviting me. I appreciate you.
Anytime.
You
I love
know,
having conversations with you.
I love talking with you too, Mike D. You have always been very level-headed in our interactions and our connections, and I appreciate that about you. Super smart, and you in the cut. Every time I see you in the cut, but you in the middle of it too, and I appreciate that. That's you really support what people are doing, and what you bring to this table in this situation is invaluable. And the work that you do is phenomenal, and I appreciate watching the evolution of B-Side, Lyrical Rhythms, 216, Q, Nice, Chief Rocker, the whole nine. We really have to salute y'all. You know what I mean? I think and say we appreciate what you do on such a grand scale, because from when it started and to where it is now and how it's evolving and growing, and now you're doing podcasts, TV shows, and the whole nine. Sponsors are on their way. We know it. We know it. We know it. Listen, did the dog bark again, baby? Okay? Is the sun shining on us?
That dog has not barked since
He loves me. He loves me.
And you did it in the most loving.
He loves me. I love him.
Way. I was just like, man.
Listen.
Excuse me.
Oh, honey. Well, let's not right now. It's okay. You in your natural space. But help me out right now. Help me.
Watch, as soon as we end, he's going to start barking
That's
again.
all right.
He's going to be
I
barking
appreciate it.
when the low battery signal is flashing on the camera.
Oh.
He's going to start barking.
That's
like,
weird.
Hey, wrap it up.
Thank you. He going to let us know naturally.
He said, okay, you win this round, but I'm the real director here.
I'm the real director here. Hey, and we have to acquiesce. I had this teacher, I think it was 7th or 8th grade at Warrensville. She made me write acquiesce on the board 200 times.
Ooh.
Because I just could not let it go. Let it be. Let it sit. So she said, okay, I'm going to help you. Go over there and write acquiesce on the board 200 times. And it's so funny. I couldn't stand her for that. But at the same time, now I understand that I needed to do that. I miss the old Kanye. I ain't gonna, you know what? This is speaking exactly to what we said about change.
The evolution of Kanye.
Listen, Kanye gonna Kanye. Because he ain't got no other choice.
Man.
He's a Gemini.
The more sincere and transparent he becomes, the worse it is in the eyes of some. But you got other people that embrace him. Kid Cudi, same way. There's some stuff where it's like, you know what? I don't know about that. There's other stuff where it's like, I definitely still feel you on that.
Mm-hmm.
But Kanye has always been polarizing. He's going to invoke the conversation. He came out the gate saying that. He not exactly like Tupac, where I want to spark the mind or spark that. Kanye wants to bring the conversation to a head.
Right.
He wants to go, I have the hat on, why are you mad?
Mm-hmm.
Tell me why you're mad. Now you have to tell and speak up and speak out. Kanye gonna press that button and get you talking about some shit.
He's pushing the buttons for people who aren't in an art space, in a creative space.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I think like one of the things that makes places like B-Side, Lyrical Rhythms, the whole nine, a part of a beautiful evolution for artists is that we've had an opportunity to watch people evolve and grow and express themselves and say some shocking something and say something that's off the cuff and something that we might not like, but we have a certain level of tolerance and understanding for it because we recognize. It's like we recognize. We're all multifaceted. It's the people who want you to follow their regime that get so, oh my God, he said what? Like, yeah, he said it, and he did it. The point is for him to be, how the guy say? It's oh man, I missed it. Oh, it's provocative.
Oh, people love provocation.
Yeah, it's provocative. It's something that's okay. We know he gonna stir it up. He gonna do what he do. It take all kind of people to make the world go round. That's what I tell Jason.
Shoot, that's half my audience.
Listen, it take all kind of people to make the world go round, and I'm not in the business of trying to convince you of any single thing. I'm not gonna even try to convince you to like nothing I have going on.
Yeah, some people will not acquiesce to the whole thing, and they really will hold on to it. And it's just, I'm not gonna win that battle with you. You're on a personal journey right now. I gotta go get something to eat, man. Like
You better be self-aware. You better be self-aware. You just really, I think, if you're not, you better find the quickest way to it.
The scary thing, people just don't want to deal with themselves.
That's it. That's why we have such let me help you understand something about me. I really am in support of THC, cannabis. I appreciate it. It has helped in my life more than it has hurt. And I think that people don't talk about it enough in the healing space. Oh, see you later, Kanye. They don't talk about it enough in the healing. I don't know what people talk about enough. Let me stop saying that. Let me just redirect my words.
It doesn't become a public conversation.
It is one of those conversations that people are getting used to having. They're getting used to having it, but they're not really getting inside of it sometimes, in my opinion. And so my perspective is that once you have you have some self-awareness. I can't just go and grab everything that everybody says is hot. That's not my thing.
No.
But I did study to find out this particular strain, this particular product works better for me versus that, right? So I'm not a wake and bake toker type person, but I do utilize the tinctures, and I do take care to know what I'm consuming. And so I appreciate the benefit that it has helped me have. Like, I can't, what Cat Williams say, I ain't looking at the refrigerator for 4 or 5 hours. I'm not going to be able to do it. I have things to do. I got stuff to do.
It's too much.
And I'm not getting ready to do that. But if I'm in a space of creating, and I know, and that's just me all throughout the day, I'm going to create something throughout the day. Even if it's an email that just sounds really good, because you've got to use your creative energy to make sure those emails are right.
That's true.
When you're having conversations with people.
Yeah, because sometimes the wording matters person to person. Each person has their own understanding and relationship with the language.
Yes.
Even though we all speak the same language, we do not all have the same relationship with the word.
Come on and confirm it. No, I'm just shuffling.
It is, but about music.
It really is. I mean, they flipping out, and I'm choosing whichever one come out. Oversized ripped sweatshirts and Yeezys on the runway.
Oh, that's like all 2010 rappers.
Hey, play a song from 2010 to 2020 by a solo male R&B artist. Usher, baby.
Solo male R&B artist.
Is he? Wait, is that Usher? That
I
would
mean,
be Usher.
that's what I'm saying. Also, I was
Chris
going.
Brown
Chris
too.
Brown is definitely up there.
I mean, but
But like
who?
he came in. He was in the 2010s.
Who?
What's that? 2019.
Who you
That
say?
was Dad. Lucky
Lucky
Day.
Day. Lucky Day?
Yeah.
No, no.
Lucky Day makes some good music.
In 10? In 2010?
10 through 10 through 20.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He
He
sure
did.
did. Oh man, he's dope. I love him.
For sure.
I mean, listen. I love the crooners, you know, from back in the day when Teddy P and all of them was doing their thing. I love Speak to Me in a song.
I gotta mention Frank West.
Frank West, definitely.
I just thought about it. The fly kicks, the true artist, the
Frank is
vocalist.
awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He wrote
doing
on
his
my
thing.
first album. He wrote no wait, yeah, he did background vocals. He is talented.
Yeah, he
You know,
got a new
Ken Bell
project out now
produced
too.
it. Oh
Ken
yeah,
Bit,
yeah.
man. Yeah, it's a lot of dope. When I say we in the midst of that renaissance, like I'm seeing it. Like
Yeah.
it's so much. Like I'm critical of music.
Yeah.
Like I don't like shit most
Ah.
of the time. Like if you ain't spin like Jay-Z or something like that, I might be too critical of you or something like that.
Yeah.
But no, like good. You know, good bars, good music, good vibe, good everything. And I'm hearing that sound out of this. Like Cleveland is developing its own sound, um, but the sound is this is my own sound because you got the cap rappers. You got the R&B. You got the hip hop. You got the club stuff. You got something for the car. You got something for everything. Like the line dances. There's literally everything here happening all at the same time. And everybody's been so focused working, I don't even think they really seen
That
what's,
whole thing.
yeah,
Well, it's
people,
the shift
yeah,
happening for sure. I mean, there's some
ooh,
talents coming out of Cleveland. Cleveland is talented though, period, across the
man.
board for generations and for many years. You know, from everybody from the OJs, the Leverts, and Joe Little, and the whole. I mean,
Oh
if I
man.
start naming names, we got Bone, we got all of
Joe,
these.
Joe Little just dropped in on us at the Bashir Jones
Uh huh. Yes.
album release and listening party.
That was such a
Uh,
treat to see him, and
man,
that was such a treat to be
that
there.
was a magical moment.
It was. It
Him
was
up
really
with
like a
Brandon Landrum,
full.
Jay
We
Walton,
had Brandon,
Deion
T.
Davis, T.
Marie.
Marie. Oh my goodness.
Oh man, it was Dion. What's it? Is it
Deion
Dion
Davis.
Davis? Thank you. What I was
Yeah,
about to mix his name up. Lord have mercy, I love him.
man. The
Everybody on that, Ken Bell, so incredibly special. Joey
top to
on
bottom,
bass,
the band, like top to bottom. You
Paul, everybody. I love y'all.
Bashir didn't play when assembling the crew. EJ,
Yes,
um,
EJ.
money making man. Charmaine
Man,
Ross
that's my
was
boo.
a big part of making the making things go behind the
Yeah,
scenes, and
and King Bashir.
she was
Listen,
hustling her behind off.
yes, she is.
She was working the
Yes,
job while
she
working
is.
the job while working the job.
Man,
I'm
listen,
like, man,
she going to get it
money
all.
making.
I said, go ahead, money making, man.
Ooh-wee.
She's a very special person. You know, that whole group was very special indeed, and it was like one of the most transformative places for me. It was like a full circle moment. It really
The drum
was.
set was dope.
It really just like it was the most organic poem God had delivered to me. Because hand delivered, packaged it and said, here, I need you to revisit this space just for a moment. And so, in that just for a moment, I was able to say to the Gwen Maul that took that leap of faith, I had to tell her that I appreciated the walk that she had went through, the struggle that she had went through. I was self-aware at that point, but not to the level that I am now. And I understand and understood that there was something missing in my voice at that time. And I did not understand what it was for a long time. And one day, Frank, indeed, Frank, this was when Twitter had first started.
Oh Lord.
Okay, this how long ago this was.
Woo.
Twitter had just started, and I was just feeling my way through it. And I happened to see a tweet that Frank had tweeted and said, "Oh, now I know what it feels like to experience tone deafness in the middle of the day." And I was like, damn. I looked at the date, I looked at the time, I said, that's when we was in the session. That's what that's called? I'm tone deaf? Oh man, I didn't even have a clue where to start. And I said, man, let me look it up, you know. I looked it up and I found out that for me, it was like you sing in between the notes. Something in your ear is not catching this note or that note, you're in between it. And I was like, that's what that is. Okay. So I started working on it at home and just kind of like, almost in this weird way, trying to teach myself to hear differently because I had learned that tidbit. And I never really had a conversation like it was a negative thing in that way, because I didn't view it like that. I viewed it like he didn't even realize what he had done. He had unlocked something for me, you know what I mean, in that space. And so I ended up moving away from music. I went and worked in a call center, and while I was at this call center, I was able to hear things I had never heard before. I had never heard, you know, people from just conversation. And having the headset so close to my ear gave me a different way to hear. I was so much more tuned in to what I was hearing. I could hear immediately when somebody's mad, you know, immediately when somebody is sad on the phone, immediately when somebody is going through a thing because they calling in, or when somebody is just pleasant and they good and they whatever, I'm just calling to pay my bill, whatever. Or the people calling like, oh my God, y'all took some of my, you know. So it was all of these different variations, but I was able to really hear. Anyway, it was all for the greater good because it helped me to be able to hear things I had never heard before, and I started to hear my voice differently. Some time passed and some things went on, and I ended up finding myself in broadcasting school. And that was another opportunity for me to hear myself in a different way. I always heard that I had a nice voice, and man, your voice is sultry and is, you know, whatever. I don't know what I just did there, but you're going to hear that in the audio. But it really helped me hear myself in a different way. So once I heard myself in a different way and I recognized that I could move my voice in this kind of way and it could,
flex me.
oh man, it unlocked something for me. So having been invited, because I'm gonna bring this back up around from down the block, I'm gonna bring it back, okay? So having Bashir invite me to be on this show was an opportunity for me to revisit that space. And I'm glad that I did. It was incredibly impactful. It was incredibly special. And even though in my opinion, it wasn't really the best vocal performance, but it was the best performance to date for myself, to me. And the reason why I say that is because I used to be shaking like a leaf getting up on the stage.
I can too.
Oh Lord, throat close up, anxiety. Like really like, oh my God, I can't sing, because I knew that there was something missing, but I wasn't really sure what. And so when I had my album release party, do you remember that time?
I do.
That
on
was
the rooftop?
no, not that one. This one was the one here at the B-side. And it was.
Oh yeah, we had the because Ariel did the design.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
We had it up on the walls.
Yes.
Yeah, that was the purple.
It was so beautiful.
Purple, the gray, the black.
That night was magical.
It was.
But
that was a good time.
Man, I really, I learned something more about myself then. I learned that you're not ready for this stage for real. And our good friend Quintan, he helped me realize it and didn't realize that he was helping me move through that space. He actually turned my mic down when it was time to sing, and he would not look at me the whole time. I said, why he not looking at me? He's supposed to be looking at me because we supposed to be communicating. I can't hear myself. But he was in a sense kind of like way saving me, because had that microphone been up, it would have been ooh. Not ready. Not ready. Right, right. So I'm thankful for those kinds of things because they've taught me very special lessons. And so I wouldn't have experienced those lessons without those experiences. So it taught me to get into being okay with how I sound, where I am, what sounds good to me first. And so that's how I am. That's my feeling with music for myself right now. I'm constantly writing, constantly creating something, but my voice may not always be in a music space. It may be in books, poetry. I revisited my first love and I have a book coming out, The Stories of She, that's coming out real soon. And it's really an in-depth look and a space, an intimate space about me and not about me and not about women that we know but about women that we know.
It's a lot of relatable circumstances.
Yes. One thing I know is about a woman. Okay?
I
And
mean, those are
so,
things many of us are trying to learn about.
listen.
It's
So
up
get
there.
the book. When it comes out, The Stories of She is going to help you understand the mind and how people transcend through things. The Stories of She is not going to ever have a name attached to it, but she is me and I'm her and we're us. And so I'm not ever in a space of like, every woman has experienced something in this book. And that's a bold statement.
Mm, yeah, that's yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot of relatability.
It
Being able to
is.
touch every woman's been through
I'm,
it. You really
and I
touching
may
the
not even
bars.
touch all of them. I might not even touch all of them. But the ones that I touch, either you went through, or not you, like woman, but this woman might have gone through it. This sister might have went through it, or she didn't, but her cousin did.
Yeah,
You know what I
they definitely
mean?
got people that
So it's connected like that,
it impacts you at least maybe 2 to 3 degrees of separation.
for sure.
Yeah,
And that's what connects us all. The experience.
'cause I
That's
could
why
probably
everything is
relate
so
to it being
sensationalized.
growing up around women and having daughters. There's experiences that they probably might relate to that I'm at least 1 degree of separation from, if
Yeah.
not 2 or 3. Like, and that's being a guy. Like,
Yes.
so,
And being surrounded by women, you have a different understanding about women. You pick up on women's sensitivities very well. You pay attention to what makes women tick. And even though you try not to make sure that they know, you pick up on you're in tune with women in that way.
trying to learn, trial and error, trying
Yeah.
to learn from like what last time I did this, she was pretty pissed off. I should
Probably
probably
shouldn't do
adjust,
that. Probably
let me
shouldn't do that.
let me not
But
talk about her big head so freely,
then I want to be able to play. Like, let's have a good time. If I can't roast you and you can't roast me,
Are we really friends? It's
I mean, we gotta be able to kick it. You
but
ain't got to lie to
some
kick it.
people want only affirmational and yes man friends. They
No.
don't want anything to tell them that they might be wrong,
Mm-mm.
they might not know, or that they might have to do it again. Especially like
Uh-huh.
that's really the part. It's like, what you mean? I gotta start over. But
Right.
I've worked so hard on this. This has to be right. But again, it starts in the developmental stages. I can't argue with all that. So I let
Listen.
you. I've learned to, I used to be Mr. Fix It.
Hmm.
I've learned to say, you know what,
You
this ain't
got
even
it.
my battle. Go
Hey, you
for it.
got it. You
You
got it.
know,
Listen, I told you earlier, I put all of the heavy things down.
man.
And the heavy things don't have anything to do with what I'm lifting. I'm not lifting anything heavy. Emotionally, I'm not
You in a space
lifting it.
because like yeah, you've always been in a peaceful state of flow in
Yeah.
everything that you've done. Like I've noticed flow matters. Where I mean that's anybody. You find your flow and you get to it. The
Hmm.
that focus you have with the intentions, where it's a lot of people just don't understand how to do that for themselves. So like giving them, sometimes they do need tips, pointers, guidance, or even to know that that might be a thing, but everybody ain't ready to take that journey, and that becomes that becomes the real thing. That acceptance, that initial acceptance.
You
Yeah.
gotta you gotta know yourself, and that only comes with learning yourself. You gotta stay open to that, and you gotta be gentle with yourself too. You know what I mean? Like I'm I used to I lost 125 pounds, right? And the reason why I lost 125 pounds is because I was self-aware enough to realize that I was not self-aware.
Mm.
The very first time I saw a picture of myself, I was at my dad's cookout, and I'm like, well, I don't see no pictures of me on this thing. Where? I'm not on the picture. Where? And they like, no, 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 you right there. I'm like, where? They're like, you're right there. Your picture, you right there. I'm like, no, 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 that's not me. They're like, no, no, you're there. That's you. You had on this. Da, da, da. I'm like, no, that's not me. I look at it a little more. I'm like, damn, that's me. I had become unrecognizable to myself. And I said, up, that's it.
Yeah.
That's it. And at that time, I was also feeling like I need to make a move from this space. I've been doing this thing for so long. I was doing hair for so long. It's time to transition into something that I want to do, that I feel in my gut feels good for me to do. And that's music. I did not come up singing in the choir where I could have gotten a lot of that tone training. I didn't go to Cleveland School of the Arts. I didn't come up singing in all of the places and spaces early like a lot of the artists around locally and beyond have done, and that's their story.
But the Lord said, lift every voice and sing.
Mine came in a different way. He did, didn't he? Didn't he? Okay, somebody passed the plate. Okay, so, but I appreciate that now that has been my experience, right? So it's it's the beauty of life. You gotta experience something. So I'm choosing. I heard this conversation. Will Smith is who said it. You just have to decide. Just make a decision. And I used to listen to that back in the day. Like he said on this, somebody was interviewing him. He was like, once I realized all I had to do was just decide. Like all, okay, take out the hows and the whys and the whos and the whats.
Right.
Take all that out. You mean all I have to do is just decide that this is what I want, this is what I want to do, this is where I want to go, and this is what I want to have, and this is who I want to be.
Right.
Just decide? Okay. Okay. So I'm just deciding. And once I made that shift in my mind, then I started to do the things that would put me in that place. I know we talk about the music industry. It's visual. It's about aesthetics. It's about who look good, who don't, who feel. So let's not be ridiculous and act like, oh my God, we don't know that, you know. So you have to be appealing at some level.
Right. I mean, it's
So
a whole industry of
it's
it.
a whole industry of that, but that doesn't mean that I'm going to be whatever
I would say a
they
culture
want
of the
me to be.
industry.
Huh?
I would say a culture of the industry.
Culture of the industry.
Yeah.
And so anyway, I knew that going into it. So I said, and even though we're some beautiful big bone sisters who singing down,
Man.
they ain't made not nan move in that space, and they on killing it. You know what I
They
mean?
do.
So I'm not,
'Cause I need a Kelly Price album.
listen, let me tell you something about it.
Man.
That's a beautiful voice. So he had the juice. Play a song by Tupac. Ooh, we love a Tupac moment.
Yeah, he got one of them T. Marie voices that just moves you.
Man, it's some beautiful voices out here, and locally we got some heavy hitters. Okay,
Man. I'm
Reagan Gray, T. Marie. These what I was over in school like. Do that again? How did you do that? It's just
Man.
amazing. It's beautiful.
They put that work in to
Shoo! They worked it out, y'all.
they are John and Bree. Is it Duran? Like there's so many vocalists that we've seen or been around throughout the years, and it's the conversation of it. Like Duran to be one to tell you about it and then show you how to do it right.
Ooh, Duran is something special, honey.
Man, kicking off the second leg of his tour coming up in the fall. That's gonna be was it the Wanderlust? That's
I love him. I love him. I love that he is authentically whoever he is when he wake up today, and that is who he has become. And I
Right.
love that. He's always been that. But he's more of that now. You know what I mean? Like
Man.
he's completely, totally free in his space and his self. And
When you evolve
I
into
love
yourself,
that. You evolve into yourself
man.
with an S. Did you hear the selves?
Man.
Because you're not who you were when you were
He's
10.
DJing now.
Okay?
He's DJing now.
Is he?
Yeah.
I
So
love
like,
that.
but you just much like y'all, like the Virgos, just embracing all of it.
You have to. But you get a chance to
That's
do
wild.
that once you have a level of acceptance about yourself. And you say, you know what, listen, I like to do a lot of different things, and people will try to put you into one category. What,
Yeah.
you still doing hair? Girl, you not still doing hair? Girl, you still doing that singing thing? Girl, I heard you was making crochet beret hats. Girl, you still doing them earrings and that jewelry? You write that cookbook yet? You still cooking? You still got that sea moss? Yes,
I do
yes,
all
yes,
that.
yes, 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 all of it. And sometimes it got some high points, and sometimes it got weak peaks and valleys. Come on, son.
Oh, yeah.
Listen.
That's
Okay.
a testimonial right
Hey, let me tell you something about it.
there. Oh yeah, people. I go through it with between the videography, the photography, DJing, putting things together, organizing them, doing more hands-on, like marketing and other projects
Yeah.
and things of that nature. It's always been about do I have the bandwidth to do this? Because I would never want to take people's money and not be able to make good on the deliverables.
That's it.
So when I have a team in place, yeah, we go ahead and we knock it out. But like my day to day, I find myself doing more, things like this. Like this is stuff I want to do. I'm having a conversation with a good friend, and while catching up, we're also talking about all the cool shit that you do.
Yeah.
This was always a part of my vision and my dream.
Listen.
Like it's I see people go in, when you get a job, you put in that 2 weeks in the hole, but somehow you just magically and conveniently start right in the middle of a pay period or the end of the start, whatever. You ain't getting the check when everybody else gets their
That's so
first check.
crazy.
At that point, you are now 4 weeks in the hole. You have not made money for 4 weeks, but you've been going to work for 4 weeks. Why not put that same energy and effort into something that you really want to do and then see what you might have?
Because fear is important.
Yeah.
We have to acknowledge it. I think we spend so much time trying to, no fear, no fear, no fear. Well, guess what? There's some fear.
Sometimes you just gotta sack up
Let's
and
just
face it.
let's just accept it.
But then that's the ugly side. You're doing your shadow work, embracing your ugly parts.
You gotta embrace all of those parts. Yes, I am scared.
Get stronger.
People try to tell my daughter right now. She'll say I'm not. She'll say I have stage fright, right? She'll say that, and I say I get it. I understand. Listen, you gotta get to a space in your life that when it feels good to you, you gonna know it.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm not going to push you to go do anything that you don't want to go do. If you have stage fright, that's fine. Here's some things that I did because I had it. And she was like, you did? I was like, yeah. Let me tell you the story. So she wants to know about my life. She's like, Mom, tell me about your life. So we sit and chit and chat like two old women, like on the porch. We just sitting there talking.
That's
and I love it's a very special space. And in that I share, my human experiences with her.
Right.
Like, listen. Yeah, mommy is not as all the time, 100% of the time.
We needed that from our parents to hear them go.
Needed
through
to hear
shit.
that.
Like,
exactly.
Man, life change. It's like when you go to church and the first time you hear the ladies at church cuss.
Oh, what? Oh my God! And like she is a whole human being who going through all of these ups and down changes in life.
Sister Jones.
Yes, Sister Jones is over here cussing like a sailor when she get up out of here.
Hey y'all, she cussing and shit.
Hey,
boy, you're going too far. I'm
you
sorry,
off
I
the
didn't
chain.
know. Just damn. That's all. Ooh, okay.
That's
Not
it.
me, just you.
Nah.
Okay.
I told my daughter,
right.
I said, listen, let me tell you, I'm gonna give you the real deal holy feel, honey. If you ain't gonna get it from nobody, you're gonna get it from me because I want her to be. Not gonna be able to prepare her for every single thing in life. I know it, understand it, and appreciate that. She's gonna have her own set of experiences, but there are some things that, hey, I'm giving you all of the cheat codes I can give you. I want you to at least have the information in your subconscious. You're not gonna understand it now. It's coming back. Just like how that dog stopped barking and that sun keeps shining. Okay, it's gonna come back on you right on the time when you need it. You're gonna be like, man, my mama told me.
Man.
And I remember when my mom she used to get on my whole nerves at telling me over and over and over again. But she's going to be prepared when life goes through its changes because Jason, what did your mother tell you? Life is full of what? She's finishing the sentence. Constant change.
Right.
Okay? So I want her to be prepared because people transition. People transition, things transitions. We change up. It don't people change up, not switched up. That's the difference. Right?
It is.
When you change and you're evolving, you are growing. You've taken something from these experiences and now you're applying them to your life because you just chewed up the vegan meat and you spit out the vegan
I think I
bones.
did all this hard work not to change.
Hey,
First, this is the funniest thing. When people first get a raise or a new job, what do they go do? They go splurge. They go ball
they go
out.
treat themselves.
They go upgrade. They get a bigger something, a newer something, a brand, and then they mad that they got to go to work more to cover everything you just like you forgot about everything that you had to deal with before.
Man, listen,
You
you
know
get real quick amnesia until you go through it too many times.
Ooh.
I didn't blew
that new
through.
that new tax bracket kick in. It's like, what you mean?
Ooh,
Who the fuck is Spiker?
wait a minute. Listen, okay. Listen, I didn't been on the other side. I didn't been on both sides of
Ooh.
the coin. I didn't been on all sides of the coin.
Let me go get an LLC and work it out.
Let me go get my life together so that I don't have to be in this space anymore because this doesn't feel comfortable. I want the life and I have the life and I'm aspiring to continue to evolve in the life that I don't ever have to take a vacation from. Don't get me wrong. I need breaks. I need
Yeah.
time. I need a moment.
But to want a break or a moment because you want to get back to it is different than needing a vacation.
To run away from it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like I don't want that. I go and get
We could do this anywhere. Like this is a mobile. This is a mobile setup. If you do want to book us in our
Hey,
production and creative
you
direction,
always can.
you know,
Hit me up. I'm at Gwen Maul everywhere on everything. At Gwen Maul.
we got squad on deck. We got producers on deck, directors on deck, visuals on deck, effects on deck. Like we can get into it.
I appreciate
Musicians.
yes, we can.
Right. The Renaissance period for Cleveland is here. Every time I look up, somebody's winning an award or doing something that's actually impacting growth in the city.
Yeah.
You don't get. It's been a while since I've seen that out of a generation, yet alone multiple generations simultaneously. Like you see, I remember coming in to media, they would tell us that the ones that have been there, they work their way up. You're not going to get your opportunity until they're done with it and they say so. But the reach back and the relationships have matured over time, and then the advancement of digital and independence and all that other stuff. But the relationships that now you can have with these people in creating and having your platform partner with their platform as opposed to you coming in and working under their platform. Now you can really get some quality content, some real truth and real perspective on where the city is. And the more you do that, people around the city start to say like, oh, we're not as far apart on things as I thought we were.
Yeah.
And now we have more effective change, effective growth programs. You look at everything that's going on. We know somebody that's a part of it, and it's not because that's not like name dropping or crowd chasing. That's just because Cleveland is just doing its thing. It's like
Yeah, listen.
you never know.
It's a lot of partnerships that are growing and developing. I'm partnered right now. After I did the show up here with Bashir, we ended up just reconnecting on a couple different things and realized, listen, we have this special connection in regards to words, right? Books and helping people get to that space. And so we've partnered together, and there are a couple different opportunities that are happening that our projects are coming out of. With GLB Publishing House.
Oh, yeah.
And so GLB Publishing House is a very special place because it really is impacting anybody who wants to be a writer. Anybody who, you're a creative. You want to write, you want to tell your story, but you are absolutely not interested in editing your book. Send it to GLB. GLB Publishing House got you all day long. Gonna edit it and put it together, get those grammar points together and get all of the things that you don't want to have to do. As an artist, you just want to write. You just want to say your thing and put your thing. But the other part of it, you want to pass it off to let somebody else do it that can and do a good job, then go right on ahead. So call glbpublishinghouse.com and get with them and because it's a beautiful opportunity for us to have our words. Your words are going to stay here beyond you.
True.
Right? Your children to be able to pick that up and say, hey, look what my mama, look what my daddy, everything you learn, and you should put it in a book. Right. It's a stamp. Yes, we got this new age thing, but everything that was is coming back around. Right? So people stopped reading as much because they got so much into technology. It's that microwave.
It is.
But the beauty in that low, slow, oven-baked situation is getting inside of a book, reading the words, feeling the paper, smelling the paper, holding that book in your hand is really an intimate experience. A relationship with it. You can dog-ear them pages and highlight that word and come back to it and ruminate on it.
That screen's sending a different type of energy back.
It does.
It's literally giving off energy.
It really, that's why I'm wrapped up, darling. That's why. Because, I mean, and people ask me, oh, what do you do? Listen, don't put me in a box. I'm what I am when I'm not.
Right.
And so I sometimes sometimes I'm covered and sometimes I'm not. But the beauty in that is I'm able to do that. Welcome to life. It's not like a big mystery. So I have locks right now, and I've had them for the last 2 years. This is my second set, and I'm feeling I think I want to cut them. I think I want to cut them. And so it's this back and forth that I'm having about it. And I'm like, why am I having this back and forth? I've never had this back and forth about hair. I will cut my hair off as low as yours in 2 seconds and then have a wig on and switch it up and do whatever. But I want to have fun with it. And so I love my locks. I love having them, and I know that I can grow them back anytime, right? And it's a beautiful thing, even though I have alopecia, which is why I created Crochet Beret. And so Crochet Beret was that product that it can help you transition from one space to the next without having to fuss so much about your hair. You need to run to the store, girl, put on a Crochet Beret. There's all kinds of different styles, colors, all of the things. So that way, when you moving about, you don't have to really focus on your hair right now. I need to get to the store. I don't want to look crazy. I don't want to wear a bonnet. Some people feel away, whatever. However, even if you don't, you got something as an alternative.
You got something
right?
else
Something
more
else.
pertinent to do.
Yeah, and with my history in cosmetology, I was able to really put that in there where it looked for real. You know, it looked like a real situation when you're wearing it. You can check it out, Crochet Beret on Instagram.
G me.
Hey, you listen, just go to my page, okay? Gwen Maul everywhere, and you can find all of these things I'm talking about. G-rings, the crochet berets.
Yeah, I was looking at them G-rings.
Thank you, darling.
Show them to the people.
Listen, let me tell you. So I designed this intentional jewelry, and I manufactured it, made it, handmade it. It's handmade, and they are very, very special components, right? And these components basically, in the morning, in your beginning of your day, however you want to call it, whatever you want to say, the rising, all of the things, right? You start setting intentions for your day, and you start deciding, this is how I want my day to go, this is what I wanted to do, this is how I want to feel. And then as you're doing that and you're moving through those spaces, you're actively putting that intention into the jewelry. And as you move throughout the day and you're doing your thing, whatever, you over here, and they connect. And in that connection, it's just a reminder to you to come back to your intention and what you were thinking about and what you were intending for your day. So if you're not there, it's giving you an opportunity to get there. And then that type of self-awareness, that's a tangible thing. And people say, you don't need crystals, you don't need your head cover, you don't need cards, you don't need anything. Those are opportunities for you to stay present amongst whatever it is you're trying to stay present for. So you use what you need to use. Some people decide they want to use a substance. Some people decide they want to use a person. Some people decide they want to use sex. Some people want to use whatever it is that gets them to the next level of their thinking. And I don't condemn anybody for any of that. Do what you feel like you need to do. And you'll find yourself on the other side of whatever it is for you. I don't believe in right and wrong in that way. I believe in do what makes you feel good for yourself and your experience, and you find out. You find out.
Trial and error.
What they say, fuck around and find out.
Amen. Hey. I mean, because if you don't fuck around and find out, I mean, you never gonna find out.
You definitely gonna find out. Whether you, I'd rather choose it. I'm gonna go ahead. Let me go ahead. Okay, all right. I done walked into some situations knowing full well you are not.
Supposed to be doing this year.
This is not what you're supposed to be into doing. You're not supposed to be here. Okay, all right. I'm gonna take my licks and keep on ticking though, because I chose it.
It's like, going in, you gonna take a couple lumps, but you got some little extra padding on,
Hey,
some calluses.
my dad said it best in my very first interview. Without any risk, there's no reward.
You gotta risk it to get the biscuit.
I mean, yeah, that's it. You gotta, but now I think my risks are a little bit more calculated. I sat back and did a little bit more research. I'm a Virgo through and through. So knowledge, information, and research is important to me. I do that throughout the day.
We got a few more minutes. The timer's counting us down.
All right. Mike, this has been so fun. Like my own personal therapy session. I hope I wasn't talking so much. I feel like I was talking a lot, but that's good for you.
I mean, this was that sunlight, that sunbathing therapy session.
Listen, that sun showed up on time.
And it started getting stronger the more we talked.
Hey, that's confirmation that we were supposed to be.
Cloud in the sky.
Look at that. God is amazing.
Ooh.
We love.
It's a great time to get some pics in. I got this ND filter for the sunlight.
Ooh. Like my shade?
I do. That very, very, very très chic.
You like it?
Very très chic.
GwenMaul.com. Okay. I got some things for y'all that's coming up. I'm kind of quiet about them, but we about to turn up the volume a little bit.
We're definitely gonna post them up. LRvibes.com, letmebookitnow.com. We're gonna keep up with it. Hype Squad Media, Lyrical Rhythms. We're gonna definitely make sure we get all the latest and greatest. Cause we need to do a commercial pack. We should just do that. Let's just do a Gwen Maul. Let's just do a session. We're gonna put together a whole thing.
Ooh, I'm excited.
Oh, yeah.
Don't get me all hyped up.
It's what I do. It's Hype Squad all day.
Hey, that's what it is, man. I'm with it. Thank you, Mike.
Oh, yeah.
I appreciate you.
Right.
Love you. Love everybody. Appreciate y'all.
All right. We're going to catch y'all next time inside the
Sorry.
vibe. Peace.